What's up, guys? Welcome to week 8. We're going to try to finish up the blood unit either this week or early next week. And unlike the muscle unit, there's only one hard concept in this unit, and that's basically understanding how blood typing works and how blood transfusion works, especially doing it safely. So this is kind of a childish assignment, but it's a good starter for this. Notice we're doing A, B, and O. Those are the main blood types. Tomorrow we'll add in negatives and positives. Yellow is type A, blue is type B, green is type AB, and O is clear. That should make sense later in the video. So what do you need to do right now? Well, right now you need to get your notebook out. You need to title it Blood Lab, and then pause the video and copy these 3 tables down. So pause the video and copy table 1, table 2, and table 3 down. Notice table 3 is a little different than the first 2, so make sure you keep that in mind. All right, so you should have those tables copied down. Let's get started. So the lab today, what are we doing? We're basically going to be mixing colors and to see if it's safe. Here's why this is difficult. Okay, just because something can donate to something doesn't mean it can receive blood from that blood type. That's why it's kind of confusing. All right, now the first chart is type A. So let's get my type A blood. Let's imagine you're type A, which is possible. Okay, so you're type A, which is yellow blood. Obviously, that's all blood is the same color. And then you receive blood from individuals with type A, type B, type AB, and type O. So if you're good with colors, you should already see how this is going to turn out. There's type A. And as per the instructions, if we have a major color change, you just had a major reaction. Okay, now what's a major reaction if you get the wrong blood type? Well, obviously, you're not going to get the life-saving effect. You wouldn't be getting a transfusion unless you needed it to begin with. So you wouldn't get the effect of the new red blood cells to transport oxygen. But it could also cause some major blood clotting, which could cause basically instant death. So we don't want this to happen. So we had 2 color changes here and here. Notice that these on the sides stayed perfectly or fairly the same, so these are both safe. So what can we say? We can say that the initial color for all of these were yellow because that was our type A, and then the final color, as you can see, is yellow, green, green, and yellow. So yellow, green, green, yellow. And is it safe or not? Well, if we had a major color change, it's not safe. So person with type A, if you were type A, you could receive blood from type A. That makes sense. You could not receive blood from type B. You could not receive blood from type AB, but you could receive blood from type O. So in essence, we have safe, unsafe, unsafe, safe. All right, let's move on to lab table 2, type O. So I get my type O blood. Type O blood is clear. The reason for that is it doesn't have the antigens on the red blood cells. All right, and then we're going to, so imagine your type O. This is one of the most common blood types, O positive, so this is likely your scenario. So donate from type A. We got a major complication, it changed colors. Type B, major complication, it changed colors. Type AB, major complication, it changed colors. And type O, obviously no problems. Because it didn't change colors. Okay, so table 2, my original color was clear on all of them. My final color, as you can see, is yellow, blue, green, clear. Yellow, blue, green, clear. And basically unsafe, 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 safe. So this is the problem. So unsafe, 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 safe. This is the problem with type O blood. Even though you can donate to pretty much all of them, you cannot receive blood from them. You can't receive blood from other people. Okay, so type O is, you can donate to a lot of people, but you can't receive blood from a lot of people. And this all has to do with the immune system attacking it. We'll talk about antigens and antibodies at the end of this. Okay, so let's go ahead and, we're not going to take data for this, but let's go ahead and run through B. Should probably be kind of obvious to you now. So B, cannot receive from A, can receive from B, that should be obvious, cannot receive from AB, but can receive from O. So that should make sense. If you're type B blood, you can safely receive from B and O, but not the other two. We don't have room for AB here. AB can actually receive from A and B and O. So AB is one that can actually receive from all of them. All right, so let's take a look at this final chart. So donated blood is used for blood transfusions. However, not every type of blood can be safely donated to every individual. We've covered that. 4 major types of blood, AB, AB no. Blood also contains antibodies against the AB or proteins if they are not present on its red blood cell. So what this is saying is, and I don't know the evolutionary reason for this, but what it's saying is if you have type A blood, genetically, you also have a antibody that will attack the B red blood cells. So let's fill out this last chart. So type A, AB, AB and O, they want to know the antigens in this one, and they want to know the antibodies in this one. Okay, so the antigens are pretty easy. If you're type A, you have A antigens. Take a look at this chart in the book over here. So now they don't go in the same order, but if you're type A, you have the A antigen. So what does that mean? That means physically on your red blood cells, you have a protein or a chemical structure on there that scientists call antigen A on red blood cells. It also means that in your blood plasma, you have antibodies that are anti-B. See these little things right here? That means these will, if they see any B antigens, they will attack. So, over here, type A blood, what antigens have? It has the A antigen, and it has the anti-B antibody. Let's do one more together, and then I'll cut y'all loose on this. Type AB blood. So take a look at AB. AB is kind of the weird one. Pretty rare if you look at the percentages over here. So if you have type AB, that means physically on your red blood cells, you have an A and a B antigen. So you have an actual chemical marker on your red blood cells that are known as A and B antigens. But if we also see here, you don't have any of the antibodies. So you don't have any of the anti-A or anti-Bs, and that makes sense because if you were born with AB blood and you had anti-A, anti-B antibodies, your own body would be attacking your red blood cells, which would, obviously cause some major problems. So, type AB. What antigens? You have A and B antigens, and you have no antibodies that concern to the major blood types. Type O is kind of the opposite of that. You have no antigens, meaning the red blood cells are naked in essence, but your immune system's a little pickier, so it has anti-A and anti-B. So for type O over here, you have no antigens, but you have the anti-A and anti-B antibodies. You should be able to do, I think B is the one we haven't done. Try to do B on yourself. There's the antigens. There's what antibodies type B people have. If we look at how common these are, you notice that among pretty much any ethnicity we have, that type O is the most common. O positive specifically, but type O. And that's the universal donor, so that's probably a good thing. All right, now let's look at the last thing we do is look at the questions down here. So you don't have to write the questions, but we do need to answer them. Which blood types can safely receive a transfusion of blood type A? So who can safely receive a transfusion from blood type A? Well, if we take a look up here, here's my A. Who can receive a transfusion? Well, when A is donated to A, if we think about our color, that's going to be perfectly safe. It's going to stay yellow. But when A is donated to B, that's going to be a problem because our new color is going to be green. When A is donated to AB, that's actually okay. Now, why is that okay? Because the color did change a little bit, right? It went from like a lighter green. Well, here's why that's out. Here's why A can donate to AB. Let's take a look back at these things. So A has an A antigen, this little protein right here. But if we look at AB's immune system, there is nothing there to attack it. So the only way that someone's body would even recognize this red blood cells in their body would be if they had an anti-A antibody. We can see type B people have it and type O people have it. And we'll get more into this tomorrow as well. Okay, so A can safely donate to itself because there's no anti-A, and it can donate to AB because there's no anti-A. Okay, so who can safely receive blood transfusions type A and AB. Now, the online students, you may think, well, this will be easy. I'll just look this up online when it comes test time. It's not going to be that easy because you're going to have to explain it as well. Also, that's cheating. All right, which blood types can safely receive type O blood? Well, this one should be easy because O has no antigens on its red blood cells. If you took these red blood cells out of someone's body, you could donate it to any of these. In our situation up here, O is clear, so it doesn't really affect the color of any of them. So O can safely donate to all of them. Tomorrow we'll specifically look at it's O negative that's actually the one that can donate to all of them. All right, number 3. Why do you think type O blood might be in higher demand than other blood types? You should be able to figure that one out. Based on your observations, which blood type do you think could safely receive donations of type B blood? You should be able to figure that out based on what we've talked about here and the fact that type B bloods have B antigens, so they can't donate to anybody with an anti-B antibody, but they can safely donate to anybody else. And then 5, what blood type can safely receive AB blood? So that's a good one. Let's take a look at what AB blood looks like. On the red blood cells, they have antigen A and antigen B, which means that they can't donate to anybody with an anti-A or an anti-B. This person's immune system is going to recognize it and attack, could cause death. Anti-B, that's going to attack those antigens, could cause death. And then type O, obviously, will attack both of them, so that's going to be a problem. So, unfortunately, AB, who can safely receive AB blood? Only other people with type A bleed. Okay. All right, guys, get all that down, and tomorrow we'll get into a little more detail on that. Thanks, guys.